to deliver. Now it's my turn. Don't get me wrong, nature had a great run, but it's time to give the people something different. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my album. Hope. What's my definition of success? Listening to what your heart says, standing up for what you know is right while everybody else is tucking their toe between their legs. What's my definition of success? Creating something no one else can. Being brave enough to dream big. Grinding when you're told to just quit. Giving more when you got nothing left. It's a person that'll take a chance on something they were told could never happen. It's a person that can see the bright side through the dark times when there ain't one. It's when someone who ain't never had nothing ain't afraid to walk away from more profit cause they'd rather do something that they really love and take the pay cut. It's a person that would never waver or change who they are just to try and gain some credibility so they can feel accepted by a stranger. It's a person that can take the failures in their life and turn them into motivation. It's believing in yourself when no one else does. It's amazing what a little bit of faith can do. If you don't even believe in you, why would you think or expect anybody else that's around you to? I done did things that I regret. I done said things I can't take back. Was a lost soul at a crossroad who had no hope, but I changed that. I spent years of my life holding on to things I never should have kept, full of hatred. Years of my life carrying a lot of baggage that I should have walked away from. Years of my life wishing I was someone different, looking for some validation. Years of my life trying to fill a void, pretending I was in them. They get it. Necessary evil, difficult to go through, yes, but beneficial. Some would say having a mental breakdown is a negative thing, which on one hand I agree, but on the other hand it was the push I needed to get help and start the healing process. See, if I'd never hit my bottom, would I be the person that I am today? I don't believe so. I'm a prime example of what happens when you choose to not accept defeat and face your demons. Took me 30 years to realize that if you want to get the opportunity to be the greatest version of yourself, sometimes you gotta be someone you're not to hear the voice of reason. Having kids will make you really take a step back and look in the mirror. At least for me, that's what it did. Wake up every day and pick my son up, hold him in my arms and let him know he's loved. Standing by the window questioning if that is ever going to show up. Isn't something he's gonna have to worry about, don't get it twisted, that was in a shot. Mama, I forgive you, I just don't want him to grow up thinking that he'll never be enough. 30 years of running, 30 years of searching, 30 years of hurting, 30 years of pain, 30 years of fearful, 30 years of anger, 30 years of empty, 30 years of shame, 30 years of broken, 30 years of anguish, 30 years of hopeless, 30 years of hate, 30 years of never, 30 years of maybe, 30 years of later, 30 years of fate, 30 years of hollow, 30 years of sorrow, 30 years of darkness, 30 years of hate, 30 years of baggage, 30 years of sadness, 30 years of stagnant, 30 years of change, 30 years of patience, 30 years of suffering, 30 years of torment, 30 years of 30 years of bitter, 30 years of lonely, 30 years of pushing everyone away. You'll never evolve, I know I can change. We are not enough, we are not the same. You don't have the heart, you don't have the strength, you don't have the will, you don't have the faith. You'll never be loved, you'll never be safe. Might as well give up, not running away. You don't have the guts, you're the one afraid. I'm the one in charge, I'm taking the reins. I could write a record full of radio songs, do a bunch of features that my label would love, do a bunch of features that I don't even like, just to build up the hype. Yeah, I could sell my house and move out to LA, get inside of rooms with the biggest of names, hire 50 people just to give me advice on the way I should write. Oh God, yeah, sounds like a nightmare if you ask me. Yeah, went from my bedroom to the big leagues. You know how many times that I was told things wouldn't work but worked out, having cold feet.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another live stream. My name is Tyler. Super excited to have you taking the time to hang out with me. And guys, I fixed Restream. So yes, we are live on 3 different platforms. You can join on whichever platform works best for you. But I am live right now on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitch. On YouTube and LinkedIn, you can just follow me by looking up Tyler Ramsby. And over on Twitch, I stream under the handle hack_smarter. YouTube and LinkedIn is Tyler Ramsby. Twitch, it is hack_smarter. But yo, good to have all of you here. Hey, let me set your expectations at the outset. I apologize that this is not going to be one of my traditional hacking streams. I am fully built into the web app pentesting course, have spent the entire day so far working on that, and had less than an hour free to jump on and say hello before I have to go pick up my kids from school and then bring them and me to get a haircut. Joshua says, I've not seen you without a hat for a long time. I generally wear a hat every day, but as I shared before, I finally need to get a haircut. My hair, guys, is way too long. And there's a reason for it. I don't think it's ever been this long. I think the last time it was this long, it was probably the COVID pandemic when every place was shut down. But my hair salon person, who is the wife of one of my good friends, and actually my daughter is friends with their daughter, they used to do hair in a neighboring city. It was about a 30-minute drive to get to their house to get the haircut. They do like an in-home salon. Well, they moved to my town where I live, which is amazing, but they had to model everything, get everything ready to open up the salon. So I think we are like their first customers. They aren't technically open, but me, my daughter, and my son are all grabbing haircuts after school. But because of that, I didn't want to show up in like greasy hat head hair like I normally have, because literally I wake up in the morning and I throw on a hat and I keep that hat on throughout the entire day. I like the Hacksmarter hat. So no hat today. My messy, freaking way too long hair, but it will be short. It'll be short very soon. But good to have all of you here. We just got Salami Sliders became a member over on YouTube. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Guys, what we're going to do in today's stream is if you have any questions about cybersecurity, ethical hacking, careers, business, Hacksmarter, OSCP, you name it, feel free to ask it, and I will be happy to answer your question. Also, want to give you guys another preview of the web app pen testing course. You may have seen the video on my YouTube channel, just released it last night, I think, from our previous live stream. Well, I have spent all of today continuing to work on that course. So I want to show you guys what I've been working on today, as well as a super cool web app that I coded. Almost 500 lines of code that will be in this course to teach a bunch of vulnerabilities that I see on real web app pen tests. So I want to give you guys a sneak preview of that web app. See if you can spot some of the vulnerabilities. That might be a little bit fun. We'll play a spot the vulnerability game when we get to that. But let me just scroll up. Hello, everyone. I'm not going to I'm not going to individually say hello like I normally do because I want to show you guys the web app stuff. But I'm going to quickly scroll through to see if we have any questions. I do want to celebrate with John Matrix 1337. He said, my burp MCP server is working. I love it. I know how frustrating it can be to set up MCP servers. I made an AWS pentesting MCP server at my last job, and I was so happy when I finally got it working. All right, let me scroll. We got Zach, who is sick, but the stream makes it better. Sorry that you're sick, though, dude. That sucks. So we streaming everywhere? Yes. So if you missed it on Friday, I was only streaming to YouTube because Restream broke, sort of. Long story. I believe I fixed that weird audio click I was getting when I would be live streaming, almost like a CPU overload. I had to change my encoder settings in OBS to use my CPU better, to have less resources. But when I did that, I changed it to a format that then could not be sent to Restream. I could record, no problem. I could stream to YouTube, but Restream didn't accept the format. So I had to slightly change the encoding for the live stream. So I think the weird audio issue is still fixed, but I don't know for sure. It's fixed when I record for sure. I'm just not sure about the live stream since I had to go back and change that. But yes, Restream is fixed now. We're streaming on all the things. Forgot to fix the hat. I'll share this. Fishy131 said, I have so much improved with the AD hacking labs on Hacksmarter. This is great. Hey, thank you. And if you guys can permit me for a little bit of self-advertisement, this is the best InfoSec community and the best platform to learn ethical hacking on. What Fish is referring to is likely our labs down here. We have we have labs covering Active Directory, Windows, Linux, and even AWS, all hosted for you with a heavy focus on realism. So if you're looking for a platform with realistic hacking labs, not silly CTFs, head out to hacksmarter.org. I also have courses and mini courses called Hack With Me's. The annual membership right now is 43% off. I'm giving it to you basically at cost, or if you just want access to the hands-on labs, only about $6 a month unlocks all the labs. So if you're not a member of Hacksmarter, what are you doing with your life? Become a member of Hacksmarter. Be like Fish. Be like all the cool people. And join Hacksmarter right now before you do anything else. Hacksmarter.org and go join. Think you will do more Work With Me streams? I will. Yeah, so Jay, so the reason, there's a train going by, if you guys hear it, the walls are thin here in this office. The reason you haven't seen the Work With Me streams is to do a Work With Me streams that requires me setting up my camera and everything for them. I'm using my camera. I'm working on my web app pentesting course. So basically, if I'm not live streaming, I'm still recording content. I've been working on this course. I worked on it all weekend, essentially. Like anytime my kids were busy with something or sleeping, I was on my computer working on this course. And when I'm at my office, that's when I'm recording the videos for the course. So I can't really do a Work With Me stream when I'm actively using my microphone and camera. So that's why I haven't been doing it. But soon. Are you going to get a baldy? No, I like to get like a fade, a little bit of a fade, a little bit thicker on top, shorter on the sides. The Bearded IT Dad said, why is your beard not longer? Because if I grow my beard out longer, I look homeless. I cannot grow like a nice looking beard. It will be like long here and short here, and I'll look like I got into a fight with a freaking cat or something. That's why the beard is not longer. Thanks for asking. Well, Carol said, Tyler, did you take the OSCP before you started working as a pen tester? No. Kind of crazy. I got a job as a pen tester when I was scheduled to take the OSCP 3 weeks later, I believe. So I got my job as a pen tester, and then 3 weeks later, the OSCP was scheduled, which was quite stressful because I was just trying to figure out a new job, let alone the last minute prep for OSCP. But 3 weeks into my pen testing role, I took and passed the OSCP. How do you manage the load of all your expectations every day? Because I feel a little slow overloaded. Every single person is different. What works for me may not work for you. For me, I'm very strict about my calendar. And there are times when I don't want to do what I need to do. And the best advice I can give is I just do it anyways. I think I showed that video on stream not too long ago about the dude dancing around saying, do it sad, do it mad. But I really do just do it. Like this web app pen testing course, this thing's massive. This is a beast. If I listen to what I want to do a lot of the time, I would not work on it and do something else because there's just so much planning and work that goes into it. But I know that if I want this done, regardless of how I feel, even if I don't feel like getting on camera, I need to get over it and jump on camera, record, make content. It has to happen. I just don't have a choice, but I also thoroughly enjoy it once I start doing it. That's the other thing I noticed. If you're putting something off, once you start doing it, you'll realize, oh, this isn't that bad. And hey, you might even enjoy it. So calendar, though, is big. I also probably have naturally more energy than most people. I mean, I'm totally fine working. I work 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., your standard work day. I get my kids to bed at 8 p.m. and I work from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. every single day for the most part, which I know sounds like a lot, and it is a lot for, I would say, most people. But I don't know what else I would do from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. Maybe like play Counter-Strike, but I enjoy hacking more than Counter-Strike. So it just works for me, but don't compare yourself to me. I also drink way too much of crap like this. We got the bang purple haze today. BC said most of the web app pen testing courses revolve around Portswigger Academy and not really make an effort to do it themselves. How are you different? I'm pretty sure you're just trying to get me to make another marketing video. I will show you how I'm different in just a moment, BC thinks, but I appreciate that softball question. I can hit it out of the park, but I will show you why it's different in a moment. Best courses for red teaming, maybe. Got CRT on my way to CRTP, which seems very easy. I haven't done any of those courses, so I cannot tell you which courses are best for red teaming. I not joking. I learned red teaming by doing red teaming. Can the web app course help me with CWES? Yes. What up, Louis? He said, bro, I got a BS in info and system tech. Former military, what should I do for entry level, or what route can I take? Entry level would be IT support. I don't actually think IT support is bad. A lot of people hate on it. I thoroughly enjoyed my time in IT support. I was also a manager for a while on the IT support space. So that's what I would aim for. And if you have a bachelor's, you could aim for that. Otherwise, SOC work is another good spot. I would say SOC work is difficult though if you have a family, because often it's weird shifts, especially when you're starting out. But I would look into IT support or SOC work, or maybe sysadmin. But sysadmin's kind of like IT support on steroids. Much more technical, less customer interaction, more back-end type stuff. I saw some guy who was offering courses but was using Portswigger Labs. I mean, that's what probably most people do. They're probably not going to take their time to build custom labs, but I'm insane and I thoroughly enjoy building labs. So we doing custom ones. I do show, like, in the very beginning of the course how to intercept requests. I use OWASP Juice Shop for the very beginning of the course, but all of the challenge lab and stuff are fully custom labs that I built. Name said, I was going to buy your lifetime access course that you said was going $30. Do you mind explaining what content is going to be in the course? Yes, I will show you guys a full preview. Any advice for someone who's fresh out of college who wants to get into cyber? Currently just doing hands-on labs and getting mid-level certs so I can become more qualified and more competitive. Also, mad respect to you. You're doing all the right things, Robert. The only thing that I would add is start building your own platform. Start a YouTube channel, start a blog, start giving back to the community now, and you'll see some returns on that. Flipper Zero. Oh yeah, Overgrown Carrots and making a DACL abuse course for people that are members. So that will be pay what you can over on Hacksmarter, and then Hacksmarter All Access will get automatic access to that. So yes, my friend Ryan is also working on a hands-on course for the platform. What's up, Bearded IT Dad? Let's see, scroll through. Just graduated the BS in cybersecurity. I am looking to dive deeper in ethical hacking with the goal to reach OSCP. I've been evaluating labs and looking to try yours before diving deeper. Cool. I have free labs and I often do free things often. So just follow the platform. But honestly, like, it's only $6 for a month. Just sign up for 1 month. And if you don't like it, cancel. But you will like it. I'm telling you, the labs are really, really well done. When is the Azure Pentesting course? I love your platform. I'm not sure. I'm hoping to come out with an Azure Pentesting course in 2026. But I have other things I'm balancing. My focus now is the web app course. Like, there's a few things I want to do, guys. Number one, web app pen testing course. That's going to be next. After the web app pen testing course, I want to make a free course that's just like an introduction to Hacksmarter. And it will be a very short mini course, but explaining to everyone what Hacksmarter is, how the hands-on labs work, how the Hack With Me's work, how the courses work, maybe some learning paths built into that. So that's something I really want to focus on next. Robert said, proud member of Hacksmarter. Let's go. Shaq said, Kaido or Burp Suite. Kaido if you are just a learner or a student. Burp Suite Pro if you are a professional pen tester. I just installed Linux, Kali. Never touched anything in my life. Any tips? Yes. My best tip for you. Just go through this intro to hacking methodology course. This is 50% off right now at hacksmarter.org. For a noob, are those guided labs? So they're not guided in and of themselves, but every single lab has multiple community submitted walkthroughs. Also, if you go to my YouTube channel, which you're on LinkedIn, but if you go to my YouTube channel, I have a series of videos covering most of these labs. I think we're on Evasive right now. Once I solve one lab, I'd start the other one, and those are step-by-step video walkthroughs on them. Just do it. You have been sued from Nike. Let's go, Nike. Bearded IT Dad says 4:30 a.m. to 11. Dude, you are insane, bro. I tried to be that morning person, like wake up at 4 a.m. I think Chuck does that as well. I tried it multiple times in my life and it doesn't work for me. I cannot wake up at 4:30 in the morning. You guys are insane. I mean, my son wakes up at like 5:30 and plays drums in his room, so that tends to wake me up, but I can block that out. I cannot be productive at 4:30 in the morning. Basic things I got you. When does the Cyber Range come out? Cyber Range will be coming out in February. That's also created by Ryan. It's basically ready to go. The Cyber Range is done. We just have to QA it, and then it will be released. Beard IT Does says, wake up and hit the gym for an hour, go to work for 9 hours, come home and spend a few hours with the fam, then out to studio, YouTube stuff, and weekends lately have been all business too. It's a grind, dude. It is a grind. How did Sunday go? Sunday went well. For those of you who don't know, I don't share about it on this channel because I recognize most of you aren't of a similar persuasion, but faith is a big part of my life, and I occasionally preach. So on Sunday, I preached at my church. The pastors were gone. They asked me to preach, and I did. And a member of the Hacksmarter community who lives somewhat near me, I've never met them in person before, heard that I was preaching, messaged me for details. They came to the church service. So there was a member of Hacksmarter that I met for the first time at church as I was preaching, which was freaking amazing. Beta Pup said, I just started a new job as a senior pen tester. It was a lateral move, but came with a 30% pay bump. That's amazing. Anyways, I'm working through your AWS course right now, and it's excellent. I start my first pen test at the new job, and it involves an AWS assessment. I love it. First, congratulations on the new role. I'm so glad you're enjoying the AWS course, and I promise that person's not a bot. It is right here, 28% off, $42.99 for lifetime access. Otherwise, get the all access sub. You get access to all of my courses. But this person is a senior pen tester, and they're saying that they find this course helpful. So if you are new to AWS, this course will bring you from beginner to about intermediate level with AWS pen testing. So check it out. Hack all the things. Oh, that's right, BC Thinks. When labs first come out, they're free for the first 8 hours. All right, let me just see if there's any other questions. Rocaro said, I got 20 years experience as a software dev transitioning into cyber. My plan is PT1, CPTS, and then OSCP. What do you think about that plan? I think it's a good plan. PT1, I don't know if it has much recognition yet. Maybe that will change. CPTS is very solid for learning. OSCP is your best bet for actually getting a cert that gets you to an interview. Can we watch your sermon anywhere? No, it was not recorded. I mean, I could re-record it myself, but I considered doing that. Guys, the church I attend doesn't even have internet. So for me to record it, it's just a bunch of extra steps that I have to do. And not only did I preach, I led the entire church service. So I just had a lot going on already. So sermon was not recorded. You had to be there in person to hear it. Oh, dude, the super chats are coming in like crazy. What? IK40sec, thank you for the super chat. Said, finally able to catch a stream in the new year. Welcome back. How was the time off? It was good. It was good. I should have taken more time off, as in like actually disconnected. I felt like I was continually working anyways. Shot myself in the foot that way, but it is good to be back. Last week, guys, was really rough for me. I talked about this on Friday. Had a lot of things just go wrong last week on business and personal side of things. So I'm happy that we're in a new week. It's time to start fresh. We're going to knock it out of the park. But thank you for the super chat, and thank you for being here. Oh, and we got KevTech, the $5 for pizza. With inflation, KevTech, you got to give 10. But no, seriously, KevTech, thank you for being here. Appreciate the super chat. You are awesome. Oh, we got the Bearded IT Dad jumping on the bandwagon with the $20 super chat. Guys, man, you people are so amazing. Thank you so much for your generosity. I'm speechless. Seriously, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And what? Another one? Guys, what are you doing? Wow. I don't know what to say. Thank you. Besides, thank you. John Matrix said, honestly, I hope I can provide some more of those energy drinks. So I'm going to die from a heart attack from you, John. So the courses can be coming throughout 2026. God bless you, brother. You're doing incredible work. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you, Kevin, over for the nice comments. I saw that as well. Have you thought do any preaching channel in Discord? No. Guys, here's the thing. Faith is a big part of my life. It's not a big part of most people's lives. Hacksmarter is not a Christian community, a faith-based community, blah, 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 blah. I don't want any like Christian channels or preaching channels in Hacksmarter, because we have people of all face or no face, and I don't want anyone to feel like they don't belong because they don't have the same faith as me. I am not one of those people. If you want to see some of my preaching, I have a separate YouTube channel that I need to get back to updating. But if you go to my YouTube channel, or if you just search, it's featured on my YouTube channel, but it's called Theology with Tyler. So if you do like Theology with Tyler Ramsby, type that into YouTube, I'm sure you can find the channel. But I actually have some full sermons that I preach at other churches that are there. So if you want that content, you can check it out on that other YouTube channel. May I want to collaborate and design a room based on my SOC level 1 interview? Shoot me an email, dude. Let me drop a link. The Beard IT Dad said, I'm a little jealous. I don't get super chats like this. I don't usually get super chats like this either. You guys are crazy. I was just like, hey, I have like 45 minutes before I pick up my kids from school. I should jump on and say hello. Guys, and that time is slowly running down. It's 2:45. I got to jump off in about 20 minutes. I want to show you guys some stuff, all right? Let me get this course pulled up. So I'm not going to give you the full course preview. If you go to my YouTube channel, I just released a video last night on like become a web app pen tester in 2026, and I give you a preview of sections 1 through 6. But then today I just finished recording section 7 and section 8 on authentication. Obviously I don't have the text or anything. It literally says placeholder. But let me show you what's going to be so cool about this course. I have I'm building all the custom labs. Let me show you one of these labs real quick and just show you guys what it looks like. And I'm also going to see if you guys can spot the vulnerability. All right, we'll play a game. There's some vulnerabilities in this web app that you'll be able to spot without even using like Kaido or Burp Suite. Make a commercial already. All right, let me go ahead and get this pulled up. And also just want to remind you, if you enroll in this course when it releases, it's all fully hands-on. This is not you solving labs from PortSwigger. It is not you watching me solve labs. The labs are literally built into the course, hosted for you. You connect via a VPN. I think I'm still on the VPN. I've been recording this course. Yeah, I'm still on the VPN. So I should have connection. I'm actually have Kaido even open. You can see from when I was testing stuff. So here is the Hacksmarter portal. I'll give you a few like real quick, easy wins. One is the portal is vulnerable to user enumeration. This is something you should always check on a web app. So if I do an account that doesn't exist, we get account doesn't exist. If I do account that does exist, we get invalid password. Something to always look for in a web app because you can determine if a username is valid or not. We have the same vulnerability on register. So I explain all of this in the course as well as give you challenges for identifying certain users. We have another vulnerability on reset password, but this one is based on response time. I actually seen this in my most recent web app pen test where the login and the registration gave a generic message saying like the login would be invalid username or password. You couldn't tell based on the message that the username was valid. But I noticed when I went to reset a password, what would happen is if the account was valid, the application would send the email before returning the response. There's nothing you could see in real time, but if you looked at the response time in Kaido or Burp, you could actually determine if a user was valid based on the response time. I have a challenge lab that is free that shows this exact vulnerability over on hacksmarter.org. I'm going to go and jump over to here. So if you go to hacksmarter.org, this Hunter lab right here showcases that vulnerability, and it's completely free. No subscription needed. So if you want to get hands-on with something like that, go check out the Hunter lab. Let me go back to login. Let me show you some of what's in this application. I'll be honest with you. I don't remember the password for the admin user. I need to go look at the code itself, which I'm not going to show you the code because you'll see all of the passwords and such, but let me go over to the code. I have it in GitHub, but it's private on GitHub, so you can't see it. All right, what was my admin password? But in this application, I have multiple different roles, access levels to simulate a real web app pen test. Let me see if I can log in as an admin. All right, cool. I am logged in as an admin. So this will be fun. We'll see if you guys can spot the vulnerability. I'm going to go to update profile here. There's two findings here that if you were doing a web app pen test, And this is what I teach in the course, guys. So many people learn web app pen testing doing CTFs, which is helpful, but you miss out on a lot of the stuff you're supposed to look for a web app pen test. A web app pen test is much more holistic. You're not just looking for RCE. You're looking for overall security posture of the web application. What you see on my screen is 2 findings. If I was doing a pen test report, these would be 2 separate findings that I add to the report. What are they? Can anyone see what they are? I know there's a delay between me talking and you guys watching, so I'll give you a minute to see if anyone can identify it. Beta Pup, we got Beta Pup with the win. Yes, Beta Pup says you should have to put your old password in. You are exactly right. Anytime you change your password or update your email on a web app, that web app should require your current password, or even better yet, it should require your MFA, like approving it via MFA. The reason for that is if someone steals your session ID, let's say via an info stealer, or you stay logged in on a public computer, well, if someone is able to somehow access your profile, they can't fully take over your account because they don't know your current password and they can't approve your MFA. So the fact that here, I can change the password, we'll change it to password 2. Note that I am not prompted for my current password. That is a finding on a pen test. Same with the email. Note that I can update my email without being prompted for my current password. That is a finding on a pen test. Things that people overlook, junior pen testers overlook this, bug bounty people overlook this because it's sometimes not valid for bug bounty, and CTFers overlook this because you're not looking for defense in depth when you're doing a CTF, only when you're doing a web app pen test. So yes, that in and itself is a vulnerability as well. There's some MFA vulnerabilities, but you can find that in the course. Let me go to a few other things. If I go to admin panel, all right, if we look at the admin panel, we'll see if you guys can find some other things here. So we have the ability to upload a logo. It says PNG only. I don't remember. I have a few different labs on file uploads, and so I don't remember what it's all looking for. Let me see if I can touch a hello.png and see if I can upload that real quick, and then you'll be able to see what this looks like. Where is Hacksmarter? Web app course, hello PNG. Does it allow me to upload? And if I upload it, oh no, okay, so you actually have to bypass that. Can I grab a PNG image real quick? Let's see if I can find a PNG image. I know what the flaw is that you need to bypass, but I don't want to give it to you yet. Is this actually a PNG image? I don't even know. Can I save? Save image as? That's going to be JPEG. That's not going to work either. Someone give me a freaking link to a PNG image. These are all this. None of these are PNGs. Here, what if I click into the link? How hard is it just to find a PNG image? There we go. All right, we got a PNG image and a bunch of spam. Let me go ahead and upload this PNG image. What? I could have swear I saved it to my downloads. Did I not? Oh, I saved it like in Burp, didn't I? Jeez. Having all kinds of issues. Let me just save it in Firefox. Hey, Beta Pup, you be quiet over there. But yeah, you're close. Oh, it is in downloads. All right, it's called cartoon something. All right, let's upload our cartoon something. Downloads cartoon, there it is. All right. We have it uploaded. Now, if we click preview current logo, I need to fix the dummy data so it actually previews the file. Anyways, do you guys see anything that we should test when you look at the URL? See if anyone spots it. Look at the URL closely. It's a very LFI. Beta Pup's killing it over here. Yeah. We have LFI here. Good job. Good job spotting the vulnerability here. I think I have a few more that would be fun to spot. We can look at this one. If we check the health of this, you can see that when we click check health, it seems to do a ping command. I'm not going to show you how to test for this, but think about this for a moment. If you are looking at a web application and you click check health and it's running ping on the back end, what is something that you should check for? Beta Pub says, oh, probably RC. Exactly. OS command injection. If it is running a system command such as ping and it's not doing it securely, there's a good chance you might be able to abuse it for OS command injection. All right, let me go back to dashboard. I'm trying to think of what else I have here. This will be some fun stuff for promoting users. We have some CSRF built into this, but you can't really see it just by looking at the web app itself. Let me think. What else do we have here? I already looked at profile. We have messages here. You might be able to guess what happens with messages, right? When you send a message to a user, this vulnerability here actually comes from a CVE. One of my CVEs, if we go to Silver Peas CVE Rhino Security Labs, this is where I worked when I found this CVE. But I spent about 2 weeks doing some CVE hunting. I found, I think, 8 CVEs in the Silver Peas application. One of the CVEs was stored cross-site scripting in the messaging feature. So this is a CVE I found and disclosed, and I actually reproduced it in my web app. So you'll notice that I will use that to teach cross-site scripting, but we're going to take it to the next level. It's going to teach you how to chain attacks together. You'll all forget this by the time you take the course. I might be giving too much away here, but what's going to be really cool about this, and this is actually what I demonstrated in my CVE, is yes, you can do cross-site scripting here, but what you're going to be able to do is you're going to want to chain your cross-site scripting with this. You'll be able to use cross-site scripting to elevate your privileges from a normal user to an admin, which is exactly what I did in that CVE that I discovered and disclosed. Let's see. Here's one more thing I'll show you guys. On this web app, you can see that we have an inbox here, and when we want to refresh our messages, if we intercept this request with Kaido on refreshing our messages, and we do Control R over to here, if you look at what is going on here, let me turn off queuing. Each time we refresh our messages, look at the request that it's sending. What is something you'd want to check for if you're doing a web app and you see something similar to this? Can anyone think of the vulnerability you might want to dig into? I don't know why you guys are trying to remove my database, okay? The nice thing about the hands-on labs is you can reset them as much as you want. So if you guys break it, you can reset it anytime you want. SSRF, exactly. Server-side request forgery, you got it. That's what we're showcasing there. Oh, let me turn off queuing. There's a lot more to this web app. The whole focus of this web app was to make it as realistic as possible on vulnerabilities I see all of the time when I'm doing web app pen testing. We also have this here. This is a fun one that I think a lot of junior pen testers overlook, and yet it's so easy to exploit. I am not joking. I I did this on the healthcare marketplace, like the government's healthcare marketplace. I was trying to sign up for my health insurance, and there was an error or a bug on their end that was keeping a button locked. And this is how I was able to sign up for health insurance. I also abused this exact thing on a recent web app pen test. The TLDR is anytime your control is only client side, it is not a control. So you can see this appears to be locked, but if you inspect what is supposedly locked, you can see it's set to disabled. I see this all the time on real web apps. Just delete disabled, and then you can update the name, right? I know that seems a little bit cheesy, but I am not joking. I see that all of the time when I'm doing web app pen testing, and I literally did that exact technique just so I could sign up for health insurance a few months ago, was right click and turn the button so it was no longer disabled. But there's a bunch of things in this web application to teach real world web app pen testing. So you will see this in the course if you sign up for the course, which you should. But today I finished all of the authentication module. I finished all of the session management module. Tomorrow I'll be diving into the IDOR stuff. Ignore all these titles. I always change the titles as I go through them, and it usually becomes much longer. So don't pay too much attention to the titles. From there, we'll dive into server-side attacks, part 1. server-side attacks part 2. We have client-side attacks. I have a feeling client-side attacks is also going to become a part 1 and a part 2 once I actually get into the lab build out for those. And then we'll have a custom capstone challenge and some career advice. But guys, this is what I have been working on. So if you want to actually learn real web app pen testing, not just solving CTFs, this is the course for you. I am genuinely trying to make the best web app pen testing course for 2026. All right. I'm trying to make it higher quality than any other course out there. Not only higher quality, but also more affordable. So what's the pricing? What will this cost when it releases? Well, first of all, it's not out yet. I'm aiming for about end of February, early March is what I'm aiming for once all the lab build out is done. But when the course releases, you'll be able to gain access to it in a few different ways. One, if you become a member of Hacksmarter All Access, I'll just say this price will go up when I release the course. So enroll now. But Hacksmarter All Access, as the name implies, gives you all access. You'll be able to access unlimited all of my courses, all of the Hack With Me's, all of the labs on the platform. Alternatively, if you just want to pay for just that course, it will be $49.99, but when it releases, it will be 50% off, 50. So when that course releases, it'll be a one-time payment, $29.99 will give you lifetime access to that course, including all the labs built into it. So making it as affordable as I possibly can, guys. Just from what I've shown you so far, I am not joking. I could easily sell this course for $200, $300, $400. I showed you this before in the previous kind of preview, but I also talk about like how pen testing actually works. Like the whole pen test process, I break it down step by step, like working with clients. I even give you my actual legal documents that I give clients for KaiRaSec that I form by working with lawyers. So yes, Tyler customer support included, absolutely. What? $29.99 only? We got BC Thinks My Marketing Bot over in chat. Is there an approximate release date for the course? I will give you an approximate release date. Just don't hold me to it, all right? We'll just say, if I look at my calendar right now, I will say February 23rd, okay? That's my approximate release date that I'll give you. Actually, they always say to release stuff on Tuesdays. February 24th is the approximate release date I'll give you. Don't hold me to it, but that's what I'm aiming for. It should be done by then. Worst case scenario, we're looking at maybe March 3rd, but it will be coming out in that time frame. I've never missed my deadlines yet, and I don't plan on starting now. So, guys, Hack Smarter. We are not here to take part. We are here to take over. All right, let me go. Before I cost myself money, though, by playing around with my own course, let me go back to our authentication lab and go over and stop my lab so I'm not charging myself cloud time. But yeah, make sure you guys check out Hacksmarter. Course available in Kaido and Burp, either working. Either one will work. So you'll notice in the course, I have a whole section on an introduction to Burp Suite and a whole section on introduction to Kaido. And then for a lot of the course, I'll be using Kaido simply because we use a lot of automate features or intruder features. And Burp Suite Community Edition rate limits you significantly on that. But we'll be switching between Burp and Kaido. But every single lab can be done with either Burp or Kaido, whatever your preference is. It's just that on Burp, unless you use Turbo Intruder, which requires some Python skills, you're going to hate yourself when you get to the username enumeration and password spraying. Whereas Kaido allows you to use automate completely free with no rate limiting. A disruptor is coming. It is already here. But yes, guys, this, I'm speaking it into existence right now. I've shown you the preview. All right. This will be the best web app pen testing course in 2026. It's going to come out next month. It will be the best course you can take. It is full video based, full hands-on labs. I should also mention this, guys, because I got this question on YouTube. Someone said, do you have the video transcript so it's easier to take notes? I have something better than the video transcript, all right? Every single video also has detailed notes that you can add directly to your notes, at least the ones that I finished. Like the newer ones that I just recorded today, you'll have more than just placeholder, right? There'll be detailed notes for you there to add to your own notes. And I'll give you one more thing, guys. This is not me trying to pressure you in any way. because I recognize most people cannot afford this, and I'm not trying to force you to do it. There's one way they can get early access to it. So I'm trying to build Kairosec Hacksmarter really from the ground up. I have no outside investors. I'm funding all of it from my personal checking account. And this is my full-time gig now. I have no other backup job. Like, this is what I do for a living. I have a small group of people, only 5 members right now in what's called Hacksmarter Partners. They pay $150 per month. It's just them giving generously to make all of this possible and affordable for as many people as possible. But one of the big advantages they get is they get early access to all of my content. So everyone in this Hacksmarter Partner tier, right now, they have access to this course. So they're going through the course. They have full unlimited access to it, and they get to go through it as I build it and give me direct feedback on it. So once again, zero pressure on anyone. But if you have the financial ability and you want to support what I'm building, you can join over on Hacksmarter Partners. Otherwise, just become a member of Hacksmarter. It's clearly much cheaper than $150 a month. That's just those who have the financial ability and really want to support and be part of the journey that I am on. All right, real quick, let me answer some questions. What's it mean 1 credit an hour? Is it unlimited when I have a subscription? That's just one way that we monitor the cloud costs. Generally speaking, on every single lab, and I'll explain this in a little mini course I'll release on Introduction to Hacksmarter. Like every single lab here, you get about 40 to 60 hours of lab time per lab. So you'll never run out. If you do manage to run out, if you are a subscriber, you just shoot me an email. You can either hit the help thing. I'll even drop my email in chat. If you somehow run out, which you won't, but if you do somehow run out, shoot me an email and I'll just add more credits. If you're a subscriber, if you're going through a course, you can just hit this help tab. Oh, that actually connects to Discord now. I could have swore there was a way to submit tickets, but I might ping the devs because I want them to be able to do tickets. Otherwise, join the Discord and you tag me on Discord. But yes, if you're a subscriber, although you'll see like 1 credit an hour or whatever, that's just to stop me from going bankrupt on the cloud costs and people leave machines running. But as a subscriber, it is unlimited. I'll reload credits, but you won't run out of credits. This course is going to give you like, I can give the math real quick, at least what I have set to now. I think I have it set to 320, which is probably an overkill. You'll have like 200 hours of lab time in this course, okay? You're not going to run out of lab time when you go through this course. You can take as much time as you want. You can play around, experiment. You're not going to run out of lab time. And if you do, just ping me and I'll give you more lab time. But that is what I've been working on. So if you're like, Tyler, how come you haven't been streaming your traditional hacking stuff? What are you doing? This is what I'm doing, guys. This has been taking all of my focus, all of my time. I have a pen test coming up soon, and I want to get as much of this done before I start that pen test. But that is what I am working on. I'm hoping, guys, to do some night streams and do some traditional hacking. I don't have a day of the week that I'm doing it. I'll be honest with you. When I spend the entire day recording and talking into a camera and making a course, the last thing I want to do at night is more talking. So I'm still working at night, but generally at night, that's when I'm building out the labs. And then during the day is when I'm recording the content for the course. So if nothing else, guys, I'll be sure to jump on a regular basis, say hello. Maybe we'll do a fun little challenge like we just did on Spot the Vulnerability, and we'll have fun that way. But I apologize, guys. There's like over 80 of you hanging out across the different platforms. So thank you so much for being here, but I have to leave. I only had about 50 minutes to jump on. I have to go pick up my kids from school. And then if you can't tell by my hair, we need haircuts. So I'm going to go pick up my kids from school. We're going to get some haircuts, eat supper, and I'll be back online tonight working on lab build out for this course. So guys, thank you for being here. You are all amazing. You are the ones who make Hack Smarter possible. So until next time, hack smarter, not harder. I'll see you guys in Discord. See you in the labs. Peace.